Hi everyone, it's Hazel from Empowering Your Circle, and today I'm talking to Marie Lamy of My Digital Bestie, and I really like that. I love that business title. So that's one question I'm going to ask you shortly. Marie is a bilingual digital marketing consultant with over 15 years experience and having started her business about 9 years ago, I think. And what I love are three words she loves. She helps clients shine online with clarity, confidence, and creativity. Three words I really love. um, and I get the feeling from the conversations I've had with Marie for a long time is that she loves crafting brand stories, like thinking about who people are and helping them understand their own stories, which is a really key part of being online. So, welcome, Marie, to my podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
So I said bilingual. So clearly you can hear the French accent. So
Yeah.
Maria's come from Paris or
Yes.
France, and now is living in London. And that in itself is a big move. To me, I know it's not far; it's only like across the channel, but
But
it is a
still,
big
it's not
move.
Europe anymore.
Yes. So it is a big move. And I did a big move, sort of 12, 13 years ago when I moved from Australia. So I know that it's tough and I know it can be really difficult to move a country with small children because, my children were 12 and 5. So, it's a big uplift and a big change and everything else. So how have you found your move? Have you found it easy for you to move? And I'm talking about, I know the kids will be difficult, but I'm talking about you in particular and your business.
For now, we're kind of used traveling. We've been living in the US for almost 10 years with my husband. We met there actually, and we came back to France. So I met a French guy in the US. So my parents were making fun of me. They were like, well, you should have met an American, and. But we just fall in love being two French people at the opposite side of the world. And then we came back to France, and now we're going to this new city, London, and we love it so far. So it's not our first time. Obviously, when you do it with kids, it makes a
Yeah,
huge difference because then it's not only you, but it's
yeah.
school and friends and everything you have to deal with. But it's going okay so far, thanks God. Things are getting okay. Yeah.
Yes. And I think for you, you've joined different communities and meeting different people. So
Yeah,
that's
and
really important.
and people have been so welcoming. I've been meeting so many lovely women entrepreneurs through different networkings and association and small businesses meeting. And it's really important to feel that you can have some support when you arrive, because you don't know anything, like anything about what's going on when you have to go to the hospital or like, random
Yeah.
thing from your daily life up to the business side, like or am I going to be a freelancer and self-employed in the UK? Because obviously you have to deal with a lot of paperwork and everything. So it's really important to feel that you can have some support and some welcoming ladies with you. It's definitely changing everything.
Yeah. You definitely need that. And I've still got people that I am friends with from when I first started in my women networking not long after I arrived. So they're still supporting me and everything. It's lovely that feeling doesn't go away once you've made them. So yeah. So when you start your own business, we've sort of focused on it a little bit, but um, you have to wear lots of hats and you're juggling. There's so many things that we're throwing up into the air and hoping we catch all of them as they come down. And we do, but sometimes we miss things. But I've spoken to a lot of people who go, okay, well, do you know, networking is the most important. My client work is the most important. My finances and all the things that like that, they're really important. Oh, now I have to do my marketing. Like it's not like a bad thing. It's a very important thing. But it feels like sometimes people leave that until the final bit that they have to do. And I think it's because they are trying to do so many things. It's like which ones come first. So how can a business owner kind of think about, you know, digital marketing is really important for me, and how can they start to think that that's their starting point?
Yes, and you're absolutely right. I was actually reading a survey. It's from 2025, and the survey was mentioning the fact that for women entrepreneurs, especially and small businesses, they only have time to spend between 1 to 5 hours a week for marketing, which
Wow.
is definitely super small. But that's because they have to deal with everything else. Like when you launch your own business, you have to think about your product or your offering and then your pricing, and then you may open a store or you may hire some staff to help you. So it's a lot of things that you have to deal with. And on top of it, you're supposed to deal with marketing and make
Yes.
the right decision. And it's so tough, and it's even more tough right now in 2025 because we have so many tools that are available, different social media platforms that are here for us. We have different way to build a website, and whenever we go to YouTube, you can see those little ads telling you that websites are over, what you need is a landing page, or some advertising would be saying the complete opposite, like
Yes,
landing page
everybody's
are not
like,
enough, you still need a website. And it's a nightmare because you're like, okay, do I need a website? Which is a huge thing because a website, obviously, you need to put a lot of energy to create content, to use the right tools in order to make it work. So it's a huge thing. And sometimes you're like, oh, cool, good news. I don't need a website. I just need a landing page. But still, the landing page needs to be figured out. So it's a lot of information. It's a lot of
yeah,
sometimes counter information, like, yes, do this or do that. And same thing for social media. I mean, we have LinkedIn that is more B2B, and then we have TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. And when you begin, you don't know where you need to be. And maybe you need to be on all of them sometimes, but maybe you don't. So I guess it's all about having some clarity and being able to just focus on what is really important for you. And this is tough. So this is where usually I offer my guidance to those women entrepreneurs or those small brands. And this is what I'm trying to do with them. It's just like spending 2 to 3 hours together and ask ourselves the right question. And the right question is always something that starts with what is my offering? What is my product? What is my audience? Who is my audience? Do I know them? Can I draw a picture of my perfect persona in
yeah,
marketing? And just having that clarity that will give you some options to make the right decision, because then it's a matter of where you put your energy, where you put your time, when you put your money. So
yeah,
you want to be careful about those 3 points, obviously, like try to keep your energy as much as possible for your project, try to keep your money as well because that's important, and your time, obviously. So this is where I'm trying to help those lovely ladies. It's really to start with the right foundation and to start asking the right question before jumping into, oh, I need to do paid advertising because I heard my neighbor or my friend telling me that I need to
yeah.
go to do paid ads, or I need to start my emailing campaign because everyone has a newsletter. Yes, but maybe that's not step one. So that's the work I do with them.
Okay, excellent. Now, a couple of things you mentioned. One of them is email marketing. Um, years ago, before GDPR and UK GDPR and all that sort of thing, people used to just go, here's a business card. Okay, I'll just add it to my mailing list. And here's a business card. And I met that person and they'd emailed me, and suddenly they've got like 1,000+ emails on their mailing list. And they go, me. But of course, everything had to be culled and changed. And years ago, when this all came out, someone had 10,000 on their mailing list, and they're like, and I said, well, we have to do something about that. And it went down to like less than 1,000, in fact. And
Yeah,
they were upset. And I said, yes, but now you've got followers that actually want it. Um, but my question as well is, it's very difficult to get people on, like, to subscribe, because
yeah,
that's what you want. Obviously, you have a subscription thing on a website. Even with me, not that I'm a marketing person, but a number of different people have said to me, it's really difficult to get like people signing up for our mailing lists. So I think email marketing is really good.
Yeah.
Um, but have you got tips on how someone can get people to actually subscribe to
Yeah.
them so that they can have a marketing mailing list?
Yeah, definitely. So it's still in 2025 one of the strongest tool in terms of marketing if you use it wisely and if you do it okay. So what I definitely recommend once you have those people on your email list, and we will talk about how to get them to your email list, but it's really using email marketing in a really authentic way, trying to segment your message as much as possible. We have this very famous sentence in marketing saying that when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. And it's
Yeah,
so true. I still meet people who have just one database of contacts and they're sending one newsletter a month to everyone. And that's one of the tips that I have for them as soon as we start working together is no, no, no. It's better to really segment your audience. You have people that just heard from you once and just join your database. You have potentially existing customer or past customers, and everyone knows you from a different angle. They may just discover you or may have been working with you for years. And you cannot send the same content to everyone because you're going to lose a lot of them. So tailoring your content and offering a very specific content to those different people is the key for long-term success in emailing. And then as far as grabbing email, it's tough, and you said it's tough with GDPR because thanks God, it's a good thing, right? Our email and privacy is more protected right now, and we have
yeah,
more rights in terms of managing our data, which is great. But that makes our life as marketer or as entrepreneurs a bit tougher as well because we do have to respect those new rules. So I guess it's really about trying to offer some quality content to those people that are just seeing what you do. They're just discovering your website or landing on your social media. They are not ready yet to start a collaboration with you or
yeah,
to start buying your products, but they would love to know more about you or being part of your community. So one of my tips for grabbing their emails would be to offer what we call the freebie, and a freebie that makes sense for them. So it could be a webinar that you have as a replay, and you could offer the link to a webinar, which is going to be
yeah,
an educational content. Obviously, using the promotion effect, it's always nice, especially if you have an e-commerce website and you're selling products to offer 10 to 15% off for a first order. This is always something that's working. Or maybe that's going to be something like a free discovery call, a free time with you. It's really depending on your offering because
yeah,
e-com is really completely different than people who are offering some services of any sort. So obviously you have to tailor what the freebie will be, but they pretty much everyone is going to respond to getting something for free if that makes sense again for
yeah,
them. So it's not offering something for offering something. It has to be valuable. It has to be a real nice educational content or something that really is authentic to your audience. So again, we're back to who is my audience and what could be
yeah.
interesting for them. Because you don't want to offer something random that won't be that impactful.
Thank you. Very good tips. I do think it's important because, as you said, it's really important to have email marketing
Yeah.
because it is something that it's an underutilized way of marketing, I think.
Oh, yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
so
And
focused in, yeah, so focused in on getting on now. Which one of these do I need to be on? And you
yeah.
just mentioned like five sort of different platforms for people to be on. And it can be quite daunting. When I first started like a business quite a long time ago, in Australia, we didn't really have that kind of different layers of it, different things that you were doing. You kind of went on Facebook or whatever, and you didn't really do a lot of other stuff. And now it's like, oh, I said to my sons the other day, who probably won't like me mentioning anything about them, but I said, what is this TikTok and stuff? And they said, Mum, I don't think your audience is on TikTok. I said, I know they're probably not. And also, I don't even know how to use it. So I said, I don't think I'll be going to TikTok anytime soon. But I know that there's some younger people that I know that own their own business and they are on TikTok
Yeah,
and they are making it work. But I guess, again, you were mentioning about your audience. It's important to think, okay, my audience is definitely there, so I definitely need to be there, but it's
yeah,
not for everyone. So, but when you think about, let's say, I don't know, you're a retail business and you're mostly online, you think that your market is on LinkedIn. Would you kind of, I mean, obviously, you're going to ask them a lot more questions, but I guess it comes down to the type of product you're selling, whether you're going to find your audience on that. Because I would have thought my initial reaction would be, I probably wouldn't think LinkedIn was the right place, but Instagram might be, and maybe Facebook, in groups and things like that. But I know I haven't got all the answers, but would you say that you'd be on the same sort of page with that?
yeah. So LinkedIn is really powerful and it's getting more and more powerful for organic and for paid advertising. Because what we can see is that lots of people are getting into LinkedIn, and sometimes they're browsing their LinkedIn the same way we used to browse our Facebook and
Facebook.
Instagram, on the lunch break, because it's really becoming that social network where you do have some B2B information, and that's still the heart of LinkedIn. But more and more people are sharing personal things from their life. They are giving you tips and advices on many topics. And the community is growing and growing, and you have all those groups that now, right now, that you can join on LinkedIn. So it's really booming. And it's not anymore what it used to be, like this early adopters, really professional network anymore. A
Yeah,
lot
it
of
used to
people
be.
have been, it used to be that, like, no one was on LinkedIn beside, really CEO or it was really corporate. And it's
Yeah.
less corporate. It's still corporate, but it's not that corporate that it used to be even like 2 years ago. It's really booming super fast. So for a lot of people, it can make sense to be on LinkedIn. Again, it really depends on your services. But I work with a lot of well-being practitioners, for instance. And so they offer everything that could be like yoga or breath work or meditation. And it can be really appealing for people that are working in
That's true.
companies that don't know how to deal with their stress level because it's up to the floor. And it can also be useful for human resource department that are on LinkedIn because their team may be suffering from stress and they could be super interested with the services provided by those wellness practitioners that sometimes are offering visits directly within the company in order to help the staff getting better. So we were not thinking about it a few years ago, but right now there is not a real wall between what is B2B and B2C the same way it used to be. And so, yes, LinkedIn
True.
can make sense to a lot of people. You just have to, again, know who is your persona. It's what we call your perfect marketing audience in marketing. It's called the persona. And as soon as you know your audience and you kind of understand who your customer is or could be, then you will know what could make sense for you. And LinkedIn can definitely be part of your strategy. And sometimes it's a mix of both platforms. I'm working with a really nice castle in France. And we are doing some B2B because they do some events and congresses, and people can rent the castle in France in order to
Wow.
organize corporate events. So we use LinkedIn for that side. but you can also get married in the castle. And so
Wow.
everything linked to weddings is more B2C. So we are on Facebook and we are on Instagram. And so we're splitting the message, even though it's the same place, it's the same castle. We have a very specific message on LinkedIn for everything related to corporate. And we have a very specific message on Facebook and Instagram for people and individuals in order for them to discover the place as a wedding destination. So you can be on both, but sometimes with a different angle and a different message as well.
Wow. Well, that's very clear. Sorry, I had to put a lozenge in my mouth because I was like, I still need to go and sort out my cough that I seem to not be able to get rid of.
It's that time
Um,
of the year.
yes. So there's a lot of people, and I include myself in it, where I use ChatGPT, for example,
Yeah,
to build up a bit of a thought process around, I'll input quite a lot of my information that I want, and I will kind of give it an instruction, and then it'll throw something back at me.
yeah,
Um, but then I always humanize it. It always comes back to, here's my information, but this is what, the Hazel part of it's going to say.
yeah.
But do you find that you've got clients that come and they're using AI potentially not the right way? Um, what's your thoughts on people using AI in their marketing?
I use it a lot myself, and I really encourage my clients to use it because it can save you hours and hours of time, which is great. But as you just mentioned, you have to find the right balance between using AI and definitely adding some human touch, some
It's very
individualization to
important.
it. Because, sometimes it looks great, right? Like the format is great, they're able to find the right argument. It's SEO optimized. So it's really the structure of it is nice and clear and crisp, but it misses that human thing, that we are all adding. So it's especially true for writing content and for pictures and videos. They are able, like all those AI tools are able to deliver a really pixel perfect video and photo,
Yeah.
but sometimes it misses the imperfection almost, because and they've been doing some studies about it, which is pretty fascinating this year. And they are showing that even though people are looking at perfect picture when it's coming from AI, the human eye is not responding the same way when
Ah,
they see an AI perfect picture compared to an imperfect picture from you that is real. Like your eye is kind of like making the difference, which is amazing because, well,
yeah,
we
it's
don't,
incredible.
we're not conscious about that, right? And we feel like, oh, it looks much better in AI, so I'm going to use myself AI transformed, But still, it seems that people are responding better and connecting with you better when it's not that perfect. So
Yeah.
yes to AI, but with moderation and maybe not everywhere and all the time. I think it's especially good when you have, that blank page thing, like you're starting from scratch and you need to write a blog post and everyone is telling you that it needs 700 words, SEO optimized, and you're like, okay, I have an idea of what I'm going to talk about, but it's still messy and drafty. So yes to AI because maybe it can give you a first draft and again help you with the structures, but just, yeah, be careful not to overdo it. It seems that we already have this overdose of pixel perfect content. So let's not push it too much, but it can be a great first start and definitely saving you tons of time compared to what we did before, which was like grabbing our computer and be like, okay, this is me now.
So you just mentioned about blog posts, which obviously is another thing which is a really good avenue for us to advertise our knowledge,
Yeah.
information, that sort of thing on our websites. So the use of 700 words, is that right?
Yes.
So is that kind of where everyone should be aiming at, 700 words?
Yes, I know it's pretty tough. When I'm saying that to a lot of people, they're like, "Are you kidding? 700?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, it can be like six something, but you don't want it to be 300 because it's not going to be that impactful in terms of SEO. And one of the main mission of your blog post is obviously to offer some educational content, but you could do educational content using videos or infographics or any visual. The real difference with writing content is helping your SEO and helping your website be more visible organically on YouTube. And right
Yeah.
now, it's not only SEO, but it's what we call GEO, which is the
Oh,
AI optimization of SEO. So it's like answering both needs. But yeah, if you spend some time creating some writing content, yes, you do need a content that is long enough in order for Google to be happy with it. That's the rule, yeah.
so we haven't got a lot long, but you just said GEO, and that really, I was like, what is that?
Yes, so GEO would be what SEO was for Google. GEO is the content that you're going to write on your website and how ChatGPT, Google, Gemini, and all those tools are going to pick the right content in
Oh,
order to answer every one question. So what the experts are saying right now is that if you have a strong SEO, it should be fine with the first step of this new GEO, but you still have some differences to take into account because those tools are really answering human questions. So you would go to ChatGPT and type something like, I am going on vacation in Scotland and I need the best kid-friendly hotel with a pool next to the beach. Can you help me find it? And then ChatGPT will help you browse the internet and give you the best result. And because this is a really human question, compared to what we used to do several years ago, that was just using a few keywords, and Google will work on keywords, but not full sentence, full question. We do have to think much more as a human right now when we are writing. So
ah,
for instance, FAQ is the big winner for now with GEO because the more you add some FAQ to your website with human question, like, oh, what would it be to have this wellness consultation with a yoga provider? What are the long-term effects of yoga for health? Like all these human questions, ChatGPT is directly going to pick this content. And so whenever
wow.
people are typing that, they will show your content a bit more than, your competitors if they didn't do the job. So it's really that shift happening. We're just at the beginning of it. And things might be really changing super fast in 2026. But we can still, have a few glimpses of what's going on. And what's going on is that shift from keywords and like sometimes people were obsessed, like, oh, I need keywords everywhere. I need keywords in my title, in my URL. I need keywords, keywords, keywords. It's less about that. It's more about being able to communicate as human, And it's
Wow.
interesting, but it's a shift, yeah.
That is amazing. So, oh my gosh. Well, I've just I need to go and put FAQs on my website.
And Wikipedia, who would have thought about that? It seems that actually those ChatGPT and all those little friends are using Wikipedia, like the old
Yeah, I was.
Wikipedia page, in order to deliver some content. So what we see right now is brands grabbing back their Wikipedia page in order to have it all okay. Like we didn't have a look at Wikipedia for years. So it's those funny things, it's going
And
as a circle.
do you know, it is no wonder though how, especially people starting out, or I wouldn't just say people starting out in their businesses, I'd say people who's been in their business for a while as well. It's really daunting because here you are, you've kind of got yourself going, right, I'm on Instagram, I know it really well. I kind of do my LinkedIn, I've got my head around both of them. And then things change.
Yeah.
oh, that why are people not seeing my content? It's because an algorithm or something behind it's changed. And then suddenly they're not seeing you
Yeah.
anymore. They're seeing lots of other people. And it's a
Yeah.
really hard shift, a
Yeah.
mindset shift for people to sort of think, but it's been working for me for quite a long time. And now I've got to think about how I change it. So it's really important to have people that they can come to like you because, at the end of the day, it's a lot of it's becoming an unknown entity, which is where it's really scary because, things that we thought we knew in the past, we literally don't have that same knowledge of anymore.
Yeah.
And it's got to keep us on our toes. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so before we finish, do you have any kind of upcoming offers or anything for anybody in your
Yes,
business?
so regarding my business, I have two options available for my clients, depending on their needs, on their budget, and also on what they want to do. So I do what we call done for you services. That would be me getting to do all the work for you because some people don't have time, don't have the energy, don't have, anything available anymore for marketing. So they're like, okay, take my marketing, please. We see you next month. Please do it because I can't. It's like out of my control. And so this would be like the down for you, what we call it in marketing. And I also offer some coaching for people that are like, well, I would love to learn about SEO. I would love to learn about email marketing. I think I'm able to do it if I understand how it works. I
Yeah.
just need some guidance, some principles, some best practices in order to put my energy at the right time, right place. But I definitely still want to be the marketing person because I know my business more than anyone else.
Yeah.
And that has been a growing actually demand from everyone. So I offer some individualized coaching that always start with kind of an audit. So I spend the first 1 to 2 hours with people. We look at everything, their website, their email marketing, their paid campaigns if they have it. And I'm like, okay, we're trying to figure out everything, and then we start with the right foundation. I'm like, okay, this is priority number one, this might be priority number 2 or 3. Let's just start with that, let's just modify that because SEO is a bit off. So and that's like enabling people to start with the right foundation. And so those are the two offerings that people can have with me when we start working together. And yeah, that's depending on their needs and what they want to do.
Hey, excellent. So, is there a final tip or a quote that you like from
I
my digital
think
bestie?
yeah, well, it's funny for my digital bestie because it's actually I used to work with a US herbal store in San Francisco, and my client was the very first person calling me my digital bestie. She was like, "Oh, you know what? You're
Ah,
like this digital bestie that I
I
wish I
love
can have."
it.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's such a nice name," and so I kept it for myself. But yeah, in terms of one tip, I think, and it's more important than ever in 2026, is still, I know it's tempting to use AI to look perfect, and I know we all have a lot of pressure to be everywhere and to use everything, but being authentic and finding the paths that really resonate with who you are, what you do, and what your offering is all about, I believe is still something that makes the difference. When you write content and you really feel that this content is aligned with what you do, when you create a video for social media or an image for social media, or when you send a newsletter and you feel like this content is aligned with your values, with your message, with your DNA, people can still feel it, and you're okay with what you deliver, people are okay with what they read, and it's still so important. And let's not forget how important it is because it's what makes the huge difference. I mean,
Yeah,
robots are going to be everywhere. E-com store that are legit or not legit will or may have the perfect communication, but we are unique, and that's important that people, I mean, people sharing our values are going to be more into, work with
Yeah.
us or buy from us because it will resonate. And so if we lose that human touch, I think it's such a pity. So that would be my tip. And I know it's tough, especially right now with so many messages, but it still makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and I think if we stay true to who we are, we can be authentic. We can be who we're meant to be,
Yeah,
and people will do business with us because of who we are. It
yeah,
isn't, all the AI in the world and everything else is not going to change what someone want with the person that someone wants to work with.
yeah.
So,
Which
yeah,
is a good thing when you think
yeah,
about it. I
no,
mean,
it
it's
is.
at
Yes.
least we still have that.
Um, okay, so Marie, thank you for being a guest on my podcast. It's been
Thank you
really,
so much for
I've
having
enjoyed
me.
it and I've learned a lot. So hopefully everyone else will as
So
well.
happy. Thank you so much, Hazel. It was a pleasure.
Yeah.